Hi everyone, Larry here from Sunlucky. In this video, I'll show you the best way to use the Sunlucky VR gunstock in Ghost of Tabor. I'll also share some tips and best practices to get the most out of your VR gunstock. First things first, the Sunlucky VR gunstock is not perfectly optimized for Ghost of Tabor using the default settings. But don't worry, this is where the gunstock calibration feature comes in handy. To enable physical gunstock mode, just go to the settings and scroll down. You can also turn on hand smoothing and janky sight fix for better stability. To calibrate, mount both controllers, aim down the sight, and press both triggers. The VR gunstock calibration feature in Ghost of Tabor is not perfect, but it gets the job done. You can't pick a specific weapon to calibrate, but you can calibrate the one you're currently using. When you calibrate the rifles, the game gives you an AK with iron sights. But what if you're using a different weapon or a different sight? The solution to this is to simply release the weapon and pick up the one you want to calibrate like this. I recommend doing a quick calibration when using a new or different weapon. Now, let's compare physical gunstock mode to default and virtual gunstock mode. Starting with the default settings, you'll notice less headset clearance when aiming down the sight. This is partly because the controllers don't align perfectly with your in-game hands. I play without the facial interface, so I can clearly see that my hands are positioned higher. Not sure if this is just me, but I've tried both Native Quest and MetaQuest Link and it's the same thing. If you have a solution or if you have the same issue, please let me know in the comments section. Here's a side-by-side comparison with the default settings. Notice how the VR gunstock tilts upwards? The same happens with virtual gunstock mode. The difference between virtual gunstock mode is that your aim is more centered and you have your in-game buttstock sort of like line up in your middle chest area instead of your shoulder area. The goal of the gunstock calibration feature is to find the most optimal position when aiming down the sight. It's all about personal preference, so set it up to your liking. Just try to avoid going to the extreme position or extreme angle, because this might put your controllers outside of the tracking area. Before we move on to the next section, I want to quickly introduce myself. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Larry. I'm a VR gamer, designer, and the owner of Sunlucky VR. I started Sunlucky VR to help VR gamers enhance their VR experiences by designing affordable and easy-to-use VR accessories. If that's something you might be interested in, please make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Now, let's go over tips and best practices when using your VR gunstock. Tip number 1, make sure to set up your sling properly. Adjust the length so the buttstock lines up with your shoulder area. This ensures a consistent mounting spot when you need to free up both hands. Tip number 2, practice mounting and unmounting without wearing the headset first. This helps develop muscle memory before jumping into a game. The Sunlucky VR gunstock is a lot easier to use compared to other designs, but it still requires a bit of practice. Practicing first will help speed up the learning process. Tip number 3, use your non-dominant hand to pick up items and try to keep your trigger hand connected to your VR gunstock whenever possible. This will enable you to aim down the sight quickly when you encounter an enemy. Lastly, if you're using the MetaQuest 3 and your in-game hands drop to the floor or something similar, you will need to disable auto switch from controllers to hands and double tap controllers to switch to hand tracking mode. Sometimes, when you attach the controllers, the impact tricks the system into thinking you're trying to go to hand tracking mode, so it disables your controllers. I've also created a dedicated page on our website for more troubleshooting tips. If you made it this far in this video, thank you. Please make sure to hit the like button to help with the YouTube algorithm. YouTube also thinks that you're gonna like the next video on the screen, so make sure to click it when it pops out. Thanks for watching.